Good morning, everybody. Actually, when I say good morning to all of you, I'm really saying from my heart, good morning. Also, when we see each other, when we say hello, how are you? You must say from your heart, not as a culture, as a tradition. And also, when we say, oh, I'm very happy to see you, you must say from your heart. You must feel happy. They must say, I'm very happy to see you. Otherwise, when you say, I'm very happy to see you, you are just saying, you really don't have the sense of feeling happiness when you meet your friends. Also, after somebody done something for you, then also say, we thank you so much. When we say thank you so much to someone, due to different good thing happened, also must say from our heart. When you say something from your heart with a pure intention, and other people also can feel, oh, he or she is very happy, he or she is very thankful to me. Therefore, I really say, good morning, all of you, to attend the dialogue with me or Q&A session with me. Also, please, everybody must realize why we have, this kind of session in Sunday. Because Sunday is an off day, most of you off from your workplace. Second, all of you have been studying Dharma for many years, also practicing Dharma for many years. Also you have been following, different masters. You have been reading different Dharma books. Due to those reasons, sometimes you have a lot of confusion in your mind. Sometimes you feel, there's a contradiction. Or sometimes you know a bit and you know more about something. Therefore, this session is more about, receiving more clarification, clearing your doubts, or clearing, purifying the contradiction thoughts you have. Also, you wish to have a better or deeper understanding of Dharma. As the person who answers to all your questions, I'm not that, very perfect, qualified Geshe, but my motivation is always very pure. I don't have any sense of ego, I know I will teach. No, I think whatever I knew based on, the Dharma teachings, based on the Dharma, I'm happy to share what I know. Second, I don't have any, motivation for mine to have a more study partners. For me, doesn't matter the number of study partners. I don't care the numbers. I really care the qualities. What kind of qualities I'm looking, with my study partners, all of you. Quality number one, very sincere, having very pure motivation to study Dharma and very sincere about practicing Dharma. This is motivation must be very pure. The second quality I'm looking, not just have a sincere motivation, very sincere student. Also, I'm looking the student or study partner to read the Dharma books continuously and try to have a better understanding and better practice. Third quality is, once you know the Dharma, when you understood the Dharma, and I'm looking the person who become more happier, more sincere, less the negative thoughts, more open mind, more pure mind. Those are the qualities I'm looking, with my study partners. From my side, please everybody, must know, I have a very pure motivation. I don't have any attachment or desire to have a name and fame and positions. Also, I don't have any motivation. When I teach you, I'm not looking any return to me. And also my third quality, kind of my motivation is, only I'm looking always expect to share the knowledge I have, I learned, I received from my different teachers, different master, all the teachings, all the knowledge I have, I sincerely share with anybody. Whether you are a believer, non-believer, whether you are male and female, whether you are Singaporean, non-Singaporean, whether you are rich, middle class, poor, very poor, for me, everybody is very equal to be, study partners. Therefore, I let you know what kind of motivation I have, what kind of motivation, you must have. As usual, so this is the dialogue we're going to have is about Dharma, about Lam Rim. Lam means the path to enlightenment, path to liberation, path to happy life. Rim means the sequence, the orders. So we are very simple person, we are very simple people, but our motivation is very great. We have a great motivation. Also, physically, financially, we are very simple people. We are not, very rich person, but mentally, motivationally, we are very rich. We are not only thinking about ourselves, our families, our friends. We always think, we always care, all sentient beings. Therefore, we are ordinary, but we have a great motivation. Materially, we are not rich at all, but mentally, we are very rich. Also, when we think about our practice, we practice the Dharma, not only have a happy life. We practice Dharma not for to have a long life. We practice the Dharma to achieve liberation, Buddhahood, to benefit not only few human beings or few sentient beings, to benefit all sentient beings. Therefore, we have a great motivation, we have a very great practice, we have one of the greater achievement. Therefore, when you feel materially, I am not rich, you should not be unhappy. You should think, yes, materially, I am not rich. Mentally, I am very rich. Materially, I don't have a lot of material things. Mentally, you should think I have a lot of positive minds. I have a less negative thoughts. When you see, one of your friends who are very rich, maybe the richest person or richest family in Singapore, you should not have a sense of jealous. You must have a sense of rejoice, sense of appreciate. You should not have a jealous. Also, you should not feel, oh, this family, that family, this friend, that friend have so many, lot of monies, lot of property, lot of incomes. Then you feel beat down. That moment you should think the rich person, the wealthy family has a lot of material things. Also, they have a lot of anxiety, depression, ego, attachment, having more desire having more. And others, you should think, yes, I'm materially very poor. I cannot compare those people, this friend. But I don't have a lot of negative thoughts. I have a more positive thoughts. Therefore, every day, we really need to control the negative thoughts. So therefore, this kind of session is a session about Dharma. The Dharma is mainly only for reducing negative thoughts. Therefore, at the beginning, everybody must have a very pure motivation for becoming Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Also, so we are conditioned phenomena. Our physical body, our belongings, our families, everything around us are the conditioned phenomena. Therefore, the things around us, include our body, are impermanent. Therefore, subject to change. Please meditate on impermanence and death. The death will come, definitely will come. Can be come any day, any month, any times. It is a very uncertainty. When the death comes, no choice. We have to live this world. We have to leave the family. We have to leave all the belongings behind us. Nobody can go with us. Even though you consider he or she is one of my dearest person, the person cannot go with you. Also, you cannot stay with the person. You have to apart. When the death comes, any belongings, the most important things you really attach in your mind, the things also you cannot bring with you. Therefore, it is very important to meditate on impermanence and death. When you remember death, then you must remember the non-attachment. There's no point to attach to something, someone. When you have a so strong attachment towards something or someone, the moment of the death, we will have a lot of difficulties. We will have a lot of confusions. We will have a lot of fears. If we fully understood impermanence and death, nothing can go, nobody can go with us, nothing can bring with us, then moment of the death, there's a better opportunity. There will be better opportunity to remember the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. There will be the best opportunity to able to practice great compassion, bodhicitta, emptiness, renunciation. Due to this practice, the next life, we can have a very happy, healthy life. Not just happy and healthy, the next life, we continuously, carries the practice of Dharma. So this is the kind of beginning, talk with you. And somebody asked a question about 3 counts of the generosity. The generosity of the material things, the generosity of teachings, giving teaching, the generosity of fearless. In our life, particularly as a lay person, so you have been doing the practice of generosity, giving the material things. So when we do the charity work, we give food and clothes, money, things to others. This is, part of the practice of generosity. Generous the material things, the resources. Second, generosity of teaching, giving teaching. Giving teaching not only refer to the teaching Dharma. So as a teacher, you are teaching, the modern education. You teach English, you teach science, you teach, like a history. This also, if you have a pure motivation, is also one of the best practice of generosity. Also, some of, in our life, sometimes your friends are not so happy. They are facing, economic problems. They are facing physical problems, health problems, emotional problems. And that moment, if you're able to teach, if you're able to give the good advice. This also with the pure motivation. Then this also practice of generosity, the practice of giving teachings. The fearless. So yesterday someone asked particularly about the fearless. There's 3 kinds. In our life, we have so many sense of fear. When you walk alone, you fear about somebody stole your bag, your money, your credit card, debit card. This is kind of fear. Then also when you walk alone, also you feel very insecure, you feel very fear. Particularly somebody come to you to kill you. So the killing, if somebody going to try to kill you, that moment you have one of the very great fears because the person who taking your life. Therefore, in the past, the kings are very powerful. The kings could do whatever they want. Therefore, sometimes the king doesn't like someone, the king going to kill. King, robber. That moment, if somebody save your life, you become fearless about death, killing. Second, kill by non-human, like an animal like tiger, dog, cat, snake. At that moment, some kind of tiger or lion almost ready to kill you. At that moment, somebody save your life. You feel you are free from one of the serious fears. Then you become fearless. The third one, fearless from the elements. You can see in this day, there's a tsunami, there's a volcano, there's a random fire. Those, the elements also take life. That moment somebody save your life from the fear of the elements. Also, this is one kind of the generosity. You are giving life. You protect the people, you save the people's life, you're giving life, also the person become fearless. So this is the answer related to the yesterday questions. Okay, now we can start our Q&A.
Yeah, thank you so much, Geshe-la. Dear brothers and sisters, if you have any question, please raise your hand or type inside the chat window that you have a question. So we would like to unmute your mic and hear the question personally from you. I think this morning our students need more time to warm up, Geshe-la. I don't have any question at this very moment.
Okay, no question. How come? Actually, there's a plus 50. Look at 35 students.
Yeah,
At least,
that's right.
okay. What we can do? No question, right?
Hold on. There is first question from Brother Samuel. He typed out. It's a long question. Let me unmute his mic. Okay, Brother Samuel. Okay. Can you unmute your mic? Oh, okay. I think Brother Samuel cannot unmute his mic because his environment have a dog that is barking, so it's quite disturbing. So I will help to ask. So in the Lam Ring, it's written that it's hard to obtain this human life. But why does the world population keep increasing instead of decreasing? So during the war, billions of human beings and other beings were being killed. So where did this being simultaneously take rebirth at the same time. Yes. Can Geshe-la please explain what is collective karma?
First, thank you so much for asking the question. In the Lamrim, it doesn't say the human life is so difficult to obtain. It said, the human life which has two qualities, right? Free from the 8 negativities, having the 8 good qualities to practice Dharma. First, being a human, born in the center place, have a complete, organs, having, strong belief in Dharma, and born where the Buddha Dharma exists. Also, time, the place the Buddha came and give a teaching still exists. And the Buddha Dharma continuously remain. Not only the teaching exists, there's many people who follow the Dharma. So there's talking about the 10 kind of condition. And this moment, just be honest. How many human beings we have? Around maybe 7 billion. Within the 7 billion, how many billion of people have physical sufferings? Suffering of poverty, suffering of not having enough condition like medicine, doctor, hospital. Also compared to, human being and other sentient beings, if you compare the number of human beings is very, very small. We can count 6 billion. When you look at in your house, when you put like a sugar in your kitchen, suddenly, thousands of ants come. When you look at the ocean, how many fish? When you go in forest, how many different kinds of insects? Therefore, compared with human and other sentient beings, the human number is very little. When you compare the number, the human number is very little. So at this moment, if you die, what kind of life you will take, you will have? Human or other beings? In order to achieve human life, first, ethical discipline. The pure ethical discipline is very important. When you think yourself about your ethics, you cannot have that pure. You cannot maintain the ethical discipline, continuously. Not just ethical discipline. In order to have a good, resources in next life or this life, it is depending on practicing generosity, having good families, harmonious families, have a good friend around you. Also, you need to practice the patience. When you think about in our life, how much we can practice ethical discipline, how much we can practice generosity, how we can practice patience. These three practices are so difficult to practice, particularly, this day. If you think about the course to achieve human life, it's very rare or very difficult to achieve because we don't have the complete condition, which is practice of ethical discipline, practice of generosity, practice of patience. Those are the most important complete course to achieve human life. And you think about the course, then you think, oh, it's difficult to achieve human life in next life. Due to the number, due to the causes and condition, due to the other factors, like, born in the central place where the Buddha teaching exists, then you can feel yet it's a bit difficult. I'm not saying, the people who born in other country, they are not fortunate person. They are fortunate, but they don't have the opportunity to listen and study, practice Dharma. So be honest, when you look at, there's so many other religion like Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Judaism, Taoism. When you study all the religion, they always teach you to believe in God, believe in Allah, believe in Creator, and just pray to the God. They never introduce you as to how to free from samsara, how to free from all the negative thoughts, how to achieve Buddhahood, how to achieve enlightenment. Therefore, born and human, having all the proper condition to meeting the Dharma is very difficult. When you look at the population, yes, the population is increasing. Not just looking at the number, now you need to look the qualities, the quality of the human being, the qualities of the male and female. You just compare within your country in Singapore, who has the better qualities? The youngster and the elderly people. Yes, they look very smart, they look very educated, but the quality, they don't have a sense of really caring for others, sense of sharing with others. They just focus on things, how I can make money, how I can have a job. They totally neglect other sufferings, other people. You should not just think about the number of people. You think the quality of the human, that you can see. We have a very little number of human who has a good qualities, good heart, willing to share, happy to care other, ready to give your things to benefit others. And also you can see, the population increasing. Also, we have only the number of human in this planet. According to Buddhist culture or Buddhist tradition, according to Buddha teachings, we believe, the countless planets. There's millions of other planets we cannot see. It's too far. Therefore, we, in this world, the population number is increasing. Some of maybe they, dead in this planet, born in this planet. Someone born some other planets, born in these planets. we were born these planets, maybe it's a collective karmas, which is everybody live together in one planet. This is the collective karma. And also we have our, personal or individual karma. As a family, you have a collective karma. Even though when you look at the individual in your family, different people has a different karma because different people has a different kind of lifestyle. Therefore, I cannot see, Lamrim said, the human life is very rare, very difficult to obtain. It is very truth. Also, I cannot see, the human life is so difficult to obtain. Also, I cannot see the contradiction, increasing the human population. Yes, this is the answer for you. Next question, please.
Okay, thank you, Geshe-la. Hope that answers Brother Samuel's question. If you have follow-up, you can use the chat. Next, I would like to have our sister Tanya from Australia, Melbourne. Your mic is unmuted. Yes, can go ahead, Tanya.
Good morning. After yesterday, I felt a little ashamed because you're right, I don't study very often. So before today's class, before the Q&A session, I decided to quickly reread what we have been studying. And I have a doubt regarding what Lama Tsongkhapa is saying in one of the sections. All the precepts are included in the 6 perfections, and there's a fixed number of perfections. And one of those reasons is based on fulfilling the 2 aims. And Lama Tsongkhapa says that in these 6, there is no complete fulfillment of others' aims. And I know it's not a contradiction because Lama Tsongkhapa is saying this, but it seems like there's something else.
First, I understood your question. All the precepts include into 6 perfection. The number of perfection is fixed into 6.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the second part, the contradiction part?
Okay, so it's complete for accomplishing the 2 aims, the aims of yourself and the aims for others. It's complete. The complete number is 6. However, Lama Tsongkhapa also adds, in these 6, there is no complete fulfillment of others' aims. So it's like he's saying there's something else, not just the 6 perfections, to complete the others' aims. And then the next section, which is perfecting the complete fulfillment of other aims. I know it's not a contradiction, but for me, I'm finding it difficult to know exactly where Lama Tsongkhapa is coming from. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you so much for this question. The first, I think all of you or us, we must know the precept. All the precept, the Bodhisattva precept, include into 6 perfections. The precept is not referred to the vows or layperson precept or full ordained precept. The precept is referred to the practice, the path. Therefore, all the Bodhisattva practices, all the Bodhisattva's paths is subsumed into 6 perfections. And also, I'm not sure you are confusion or not. The 6th perfection is important to fulfill your own aim. Your own aim. Also, the 6th perfection is most important practice to fulfill others. In order to fulfill your own aims, you need only 6 practices, which is 6 perfections. In order to fulfill aims for others, other aims, also we need only 6 practices, which is 6 perfections. Clear?
Yeah.
Then I know your contradiction is I can read the sentence. I remember where the sentence it is.
It's page 106.
Yeah. Can you just tell me the number?
It's the last paragraph under the stanza, the verse.
110.
Sorry, no, 106.
106. Yeah, I remember this was a bit difficult to understand, so even though in Tibetan. The fixed number.
So it's just underneath the verse.
I think we are following different books. Anyway, so I will read in Tibetan. Then easy to can see. Also, yes, you are right. When you read the sentence directly, it looks like a bit contradiction. Yeah. In Tibetan said, there's a quotation. After the quotation, they say, Dila gender number thamjaba medo. There's not other M's at all, right? He said like. Okay, let's say also you must remember before just ending of the 6 fixed number, it depends on which part you end. Let's say in order to fulfill your own end, that means let's say the practitioner who practices the Hinayan path, is a liberation, is their own end. So when you practice the 6 perfections to achieve your own aim, it's only for your own aim. It's nothing to do with the others' aims. Therefore, when you practice the 6 perfection only to achieve your own aim, then there's no any other aims to achieve through the 6 perfections. You are very right. When you read the Tibetan also, suddenly there's a quotation. After quotation, there's nothing at all other aims. Therefore, please you read, all the sentence, and you must connect all the sentence together. Then you can see there's no contradiction. Even though when I read the sentence, I thought, how come the sentence is mentioned? There's nothing, there's not at all other ends. Therefore, please you read one more. Then the next Sunday, I will come with a conclusion for you. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you are right. When you read the Tibetan also, you can see there's a contradiction, actually no. Okay, so I will come with a conclusion next time. I think everybody has some confusion around this paragraph.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Next question, please.
Okay, thank you, Geshe-la. So next question, we have it from Charlie. So Charlie, will you be able to unmute your mic? Okay, yes, your mic is unmuted. Go ahead, Charlie. Charlie, you need to be closer to the Zoom or your computer. Your voice is a bit soft. Oh, it's a bit soft. Geshe-la, can you hear?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Can you hear me now, Geshe-la?
I think there's an echo also. I cannot hear very clearly.
Yeah, I cannot hear you very clearly, but Charlie, I have a question. Let me ask on your behalf. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so Charlie's question goes in this way. So what happens when a family die in a car accident or a plane crash? So does the consciousness of the family members know they had perished together?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is the question.
What's the question? There's no question. It looks like a statement.
It is like when a family, when they die together in a car accident or a plane crash, so the whole family, does the consciousness of the whole family members, do they know that they have perished together as a family? Do they have this consciousness?
Perish means, finish, right? Ending.
Yes.
Die together, Geshe-la.
Die together.
Yeah, dying together. I think, so it's very interesting to see, thing that many people, even though actually, in the fact, it is kind of, ending of the day today. Today is my last day of this world. It is the fact. But many people, they're not ready to accept. They think, oh, today my condition is very worse. I'm okay. Today I'm worse, but tomorrow I'm okay. People just have this kind of thought. I'm okay. But when there's an accident or plane crash, many people think I'm going to have a serious injured. But I don't think everybody think I'm going to die. In the plane crash, they know there can be a lot of damage. But many people don't really think we all together going to die. It depends on, I think, definitely depend on the different people has a different idea. Many people think, oh, we all going to die together. Many people say, no, I'm not going to die. I'm okay. So it depends on the situation. Also depend on the person. It doesn't mean everybody think we all going to finish together. We're going to die together. It's not necessary. How you come this kind of question? Why you have this question?
Hi, Charlie. Can you hear me? Charlie?
Charlie, your mic is on mute.
Yeah, my answer for him is somebody can think, we all, going to die together. Somebody think, no, we are okay. There's accident, there may be big kind of damaged part of our body, but they think we are okay. Because people, not easy to realize it is the time to live. You can see people are very seriously ill. The doctor says he or she, the person, going to die within 1 week. If you tell the person no ready to accept, no, I'm okay, I'm not going to die, I will live another few years. Due to the misunderstanding of life, due to the strong attachment, not easy to believe, not easy to accept. This is very often you can see when the people are seriously ill.
Geshe-la,
Yes?
can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
Yes, we can hear you.
I forgot to put this one down. Okay, what I'm saying is they all died already. They on the plane crash or car accident, they all died. Let's say maybe of 4, father, mother, daughter, and son. Do they all know when they die already? Do they know that all the other member of the family also died?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Sometime in the teaching mentioned, the person already died. They're in the middle stage, in the pardo. Many, being who are in the middle state, sometimes they don't realize they really, died. Therefore, during the intermediate state, he or she come around the house, try to speak with the families or friends, try to eat food together. Then the person cannot get. Then the person get very angry and upset. That how come they're not sharing food with me? They're not talking with me because a person who in the intermediate state, he or she doesn't realize he already died. Yes, somebody can see, oh, how come this look like my body? Then they realize, oh, I'm no more alive. I'm no more, like human. If somebody can realize, they all died together, somebody cannot realize. There's not necessary everybody we realize, we all died. Somebody think I'm died, my family okay, and they're searching the family. Yes, there's a lot of confusion. Therefore, look at, in my tradition, in Ladakhi tradition, Tibetan tradition, I think it's a very ancient kind of culture. Usually when you feed food, when you offer food someone, you must offer by your right hand. When you pour water, when you pour rice, you put like this way. Hold in your hand like water, put this way. Tea, put this way. Food, this way. So we offer the food for 1 week or 4 days for the person who passed away. That moment, we never put like this, we put it this way. Water, food, whatever, we offer this way. This is a we learn before we die. When you see somebody, putting food like this, that means you are no more. This is the indication we teach when we this life, right? After we pass away, somebody offer food us like this, then we realize, oh, I'm no more life. Yeah, therefore we have to learn what kind of indication we have when we were died. Otherwise, so difficult to realize I'm alive, I'm dead. Yes. Next question, please.
Okay, thank you, Charlie, for the question. So we will move on to UN, Sister UN. Okay, your mic is unmuted. You can go ahead with the question.
Hi, Geshe-la. My question is, when faced with real danger, we may lose our lives in the next few seconds or minutes. So there's a sense of helplessness. How to keep positive to avoid falling into miserable realm at that moment, close to death? Does reciting mantra like Om Mani Padme Hum deep in heart and mind help to lead to the right path?
Okay, thank you so much asking question. Also, it's a very important question because look at, we believe in next life. Also, everybody, accept the death. The death will come for everybody anytime. Everybody fully realize. But we don't know what is the process, the procedure of the death. What does mean death? Therefore, many people really feel very misery when we think about death. As a Buddhist, the death comes, it's a kind of, it's a turning point. So right now you are born a human and getting old, the body cannot support anymore. Then you change the body, you are taking another, like a body. It's a turning point to changing the body. But when we die, our karma with us, all the consciousness, we go with our subtle body. But we change the gross body. It's a kind of turning point. There's nothing to need to be worried about the death. Also, so we don't know the procedure of the death. There's in the future, definitely we have a class for maybe a few classes about the dissolution. So our human body, all, our body doesn't matter, human or animal, is matter of 4 elements. 4 elements. So we need to know if within the 4 elements, which one formed first when we were entered into our mother womb. Which element is the first? Then slowly the 4 elements, forms, step by step. Finally, we have this body. Right now, our body is completely made of 4 elements, depending on the 4 elements. When you stop to drink, like liquids, like tea, water, when you stop to drink the liquids, within 2 weeks, you can see your body become very skinny, very dry. No water. Water going to be disappear, dissolve. Then if you, eat a lot of the hot kind of food, you can feel your body becomes so hot. The 5 element increase. So our body is just made of 4 elements. When the 4 elements become imbalanced, then we feel very uncomfortable, we feel sick. So when we die, there's a certain procedure how the 4 elements dissolved. After 4 elements fully dissolved, clinically, we can say the person is dead. Actually not. The person can still remember him or herself. And there's another 4, visualization. And slowly the mind become more, subtle and deeper. Then somehow there's a occasion, the person to totally look like unconscious, cannot remember anything, cannot see, it's totally darkness. Then slowly the person, take rebirth or go in the middle state. Then there's another procedure how to form again the 4 elements. Therefore, when you realize the moment of the death, oh, now my water element dissolve, fire element dissolve, air element dissolve, the consciousness, is by dissolve. When you're able to recognize, you already start the procedure of the visualization, then for you very easy to control your mind in the positive way. Reciting mantra is good. You can recite a mantra when the 4 element is still functioning. When the water fully dissolved, you cannot move your, lip, tongue. You cannot recite any mantra. Your body become look like a rock. You cannot recite any mantra. You cannot hear any chanting recitation because the 4 elements totally dissolve. The 4 sense of, the 4 sensation is totally disappear or dissolve. There's no way you can hear the chanting. There's no way you can recite the mantra. Still, you can remember all your practices. Therefore, we need to learn more about the procedure of the death, how to maintain the positive mental attitude continuously until total become darkness. This is, our own, we must do our own self, ourself. Then behind us, our relatives, our friends, our Dharma friends, will do a lot of recitation, chanting, dedication. It's help us. It's a kind of, it is kind of a complementary to take a good rebirth. The most important, it can be done by ourselves. Then other, the dedication, recitation will support to maintain our practice. If we're not able to maintain our positive mental attitudes, then all the chanting, recitation, dedication is so difficult to change into positive side. Therefore, as a Buddhist, naturally the death will come for everybody anytime. As a Buddhist, we need to learn how to keep the positive mental attitude, particularly the practice of great compassion, bodhicitta, emptiness, impermanence. If you're able to practice these kind of practices, moment of the death, then 100% you will born into higher realms. Also, many people practice pure land. They recite the, Amitabha mantra, moment of the death. Yes, you can see the person reciting mantra. Then somehow the person cannot recite anymore, cannot hear anymore. Those people who are very focusing on the pure land practice also must learn how to continuously keep the mental practice, not the verbal chanted recitation, continuously until become totally darkness. So this also you must done by yourself. Nobody can do for you. And other can do the dedications. So this is answer for you.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you.
Welcome. Next question, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Geshe-la and Yuan's question. So we look forward to hear from Geshe-la. We hope to have the class soon, the 8 stages of dissolution. Thank you so much, Geshe-la. So I want to move on to Tanya again. So Tanya have a follow-up question based on her first question. So Tanya, if you can unmute your mic. Yes, your mic is unmuted. Go ahead.
Sorry to ask again. I think I understand why I'm finding it difficult to follow. It's because of my understanding of what the 2 aims are. So my understanding of the 2 aims are, my own aim is to be liberated in order to cause the enlightenment of others. So I'm thinking that the aim of others is to be enlightened, but I think that's wrong because Lama Tsongkhapa is saying in these 6 there is no complete fulfillment of others' aims. So Lama Tsongkhapa, perhaps he's saying you can fulfill the mundane aims, but the complete fulfillment is only after you fulfill your own aims, which is why in this section, is that correct or?
Yeah, you are very correct. You are very correct.
So that's why I'm having a problem because I assumed that, okay, good. Thank you.
Actually, all of you, because you follow the Lamrim in English or Chinese. The Lamrim, which is translated into English or Chinese, is translated from Tibetan language. When the Tibetan language directly translated into English and Chinese, there always has a difficult to understand. For example, in Tibetan we say Choje Adisha, Tibamkara Shirigyan, Choje Adisha, right? Then in English translate, they say elderly Adisha. Then many people think there must be a younger Adisha, right? Therefore, when you have a confusion to understand the meaning, then you must check with someone in the Tibetan language. There's always, I think, difficulty to understand because of the direct translation. And also, when you read the book, which is translated by Geshe Thubten Jimba, it's a very easy and very perfect to understand for the Western people who are English speaker. When this English translate into Tibetan, also a lot of difficulties for the Tibetan because the language system is different, how they use the language. So therefore, I think everybody has this problem. When you read the English, you feel it doesn't make sense. Yeah. When you compare with the Tibetan, then you say, oh, because in Tibetan language, like say that's the direct translation. Okay, thank you. It's correct. It's very correct.
Can I ask something else?
Yes, please.
Is it just contextual then for others' aims? So others' aims doesn't always refer to the mundane aims. It's just completely contextual. So in this instance, it does refer to mundane aims, but it might in other instances refer to aims of enlightenment. Or should I always think if it's translated like there's 2 aims for others, it's always referring to mundane aims.
Oh, it is not always, you think, you should not think always the same way.
Yeah.
For example, in the, I think volume 1, so dedication, dedicate, when we do the dedication, then there's only 2 fulfilled. One is a temporal, one is the lasting. When we do the dedication, we dedicate to benefit for the temporal, happiness and the lasting happiness.
Yeah.
Therefore, other aims not necessarily to refer to the enlightenment of Buddhahood.
Yeah.
Because within the 6th perfection, they also mention the 4, I think, methods to benefit others. This also is a benefit for others. It's not referred to the enlightenment, not always.
Okay, Catherine.
Good morning, Geshe-la.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I'd like to ask, for Tibetan fire puja, we make offerings like fruits and other stuff, biscuits and all that. And quite a fair bit of amount. I mean, this is what I've seen. And they burn everything. What is the significance, Geshe-la?
Which fire puja? You are talking about small puja or the ginseng fire?
I don't know, but they tell me it is a fire puja. And
fire
I think
puja.
it's
Fire.
quite big, I think.
No. When there's 2 kinds of fire puja referred to. So which one you are talking about?
A big one, I think, where everybody will participate, everybody will take fruits and, and burnt it.
No, it's also, for example, as a Tibetan Buddhist center, when we have a Asian teaching, South Asian teaching in Dharamsala, the first day morning we do the fire puja.
Yes, I when I went there, I saw that.
Yeah.
But that is not so, you don't burn fruits, you only burn incense and all that.
Yeah,
but
again, I think we do the fire puja at the Namgyal monastery. Are you talking that one?
No, because this is done by a friend of mine. We do it in Singapore, but I don't really understand. And all these monks, they are from the Bhutan monastic body, and they visited my friend. And so they do this kind of fire puja. They said it's fire puja, and they burn, like bananas, biscuits, a lot. And sometimes it's, the fire doesn't, the things cannot burn quite easily, and they have to put a lot of effort, put in a lot of wood, to burn it. So because they, how should I say, they are not like you, whereby you are very conversant in English. They are not. So when I asked them, they couldn't really tell me what's the purpose behind.
Thank you so much for asking this question.
Right.
So the ritual done by Buddhist monk.
Right.
You must know, the Buddhists we call Druk, Drupa, Kagyu. And in the Tibetan, actually, so it's not important, but good to know.
Yeah.
Tibet first, there was a shamanism, like born tradition. Shamanism. Then Buddhism flourished to Tibet, and we call Nyingma. Then slowly, the Sagya, then Kagyu. Within the Kagyu, there's so many different, sub-branches. One is the Drukpa Kagyu. There's a Bhutan in Tibetan, we saw Drukpa. Because whole this country follow the one of the Kagyupa lineage. Still they follow the Tibetan Buddhism. The fire puja, usually there's can be 2, but the translation is not correct. In Tibetan, we call sang sol. Sang means, look, after you burn the incense, then there's a fragrance, very nice smell. We say, the fragrant offering. This is we have done in Dharamshala. This can be, offering the fragrance. Second, we have another puja usually we do in the Namgyal monastery with the many monks. The head of the monks sit on the throne, they offer things. This one in Tibetan we call Jinsek. Jinsek. The first one, Sang Sol. Sang means the fragrance or the nice smell and offer. Second is Jinsek, mean offer and burn. Offer and burn. Therefore, when we do in the Tibet, we usually offer, the barley powder mixing with the sugar and butter. We didn't have any banana and fruits. So if you really know why they burn, actually they are burning the things, but they are not offering the banana and the biscuit and no. Before they offer, they need to do the proper ritual, the ritual with the mudara, meditation, mantra. So due to the meditation power, mudara and mantra, then we believe all the offering like biscuit, cookie, banana is transformed. It transformed into pure substance. Everything become oneness, transformed into very pure substance. Actually, we offer the pure substance, not the mundane things. And also, you are very right, many monks, they're not able to adopt the culture. Also, they never think about the times. Right now, we are in 21st century. So on the planet, we have so many people who don't have enough food and clothes. Instead of burning all the biscuit and cookie, we just send little money to the poor people, poor country, more benefit rather than the burning this thing. You can burn very little to follow the tradition. Also, the Jinsek, the high lama sit on the throne, they offer things in the fire. There's a lot of the secret meaning. Also, maybe, burn the stick, rice, barley, beans, and the sesame seeds. Also, same thing. They hold the things in hand through the visualization. They need to believe the thing transformed as a nectar. They offer to the deity. Then why we need to, make a fire? Therefore, when we offer, there's two sets, two kind of offering. One is for the mundane gods, the fire god. The second, the transcendent god, like Idam. So when we do the fire, like Jinsek, first we need to visualize the fire god. Then we offer, one complete set to the fire god. Second, then all the monks, particularly the head of the monks, they have to visualize the mandala in the heart of the fire god. Within the mandala, then they need to visualize the idam. Which idam? Even though Yamantaka, Gua Samaja, Chakra Samaja, Prubha, idam. After fully visualize the mandala and idam, actually we offer all the things to the idam, not just burning in fire. But in the common sense, commonly we can say things like burning in the fire. Actually, we offer things to the idam. Yes, there's this one. I think you need a little bit more knowledge about how to do, what to do, why they're doing this thing. Therefore, it's so important, should not change the Buddha teachings. The pure teaching must be preserved continuously. We should not change any aspect. The way of doing puja, the way of offering things, we must change according to the time. Otherwise, you can see slowly, the Buddhism, all the ritual are look like totally blunt fat. In the ancient time in Tibet, when we do the Dharma protector puja, we make a big thorma, barley mixed with the butter. And this day we set up simple biscuit and cooking fruits. We are able to change the way, the tradition, how do we set up offering thorma. Also ancient time, when we make a so offering in Tibet, they set up a lot of wine and meat. So when we come out from Tibet, living in the Western country like Singapore, Korea and Japan, we set up fruits and cookie. We put very little wine, or maybe little black tea, or very little meat, or symbolic of the meat. No need to put a lot of meat. We have to change this kind of tradition according to the culture, according to the country, according to the time. That's all, burning so many things is not good at all. Thank you so much for asking this question.
Yes, thank you. It's because I saw them burning a lot of things which can be consumed that I felt, oh, there are people who need the food. Why do they do it? That's why I'm asking you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there any question? No more?
There is one more question, Geshe-la, from Lian Chu. So let me unmute her mic. Yeah, go ahead, Lian Chu.
Oh, thank you. Sachidele, Geshe-la, thank you for meeting us every Sunday. We're talking about modernizing with the times and adapting to the period that we live in. And my question has to do with the animal liberation practice and environmental concerns. When I was young, I had a Chinese Buddhist friend who every year at Vesak, he will come and ask us for donations, and we will, donate willingly, and he will buy the fish in the market and so on, and his idea is to free it. So I understand the compassion and the motivation and everything. But in the old days, he used to just go to the botanic gardens and put it in the pond there, and he wasn't caught. But nowadays, you cannot do that anymore. So that is over. So in Singapore, very often people, if they still want to do this kind of animal liberation practice, they have to go to the sea, right? They buy the fish and they go to the sea. But our environmental concerns and our understanding, our knowledge knows that if you are, any animal, any creature that has been raised in captivity, farms or, fish farms or animal farms, and you put them in the wild, is very cruel because they cannot survive in those conditions. So my question is, do you have a Buddhist view of these practices given the times that we are living now? I agree with you that it's good to donate money to, for the center or anybody who wants to do anything to buy more food for people or increase other ways of managing their lives. But this is the compassion practice specifically to animal liberation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for asking this question. This kind of, I think the fish liberation, animal liberation is now become quite controversial in Tibet. Yes, traditionally in Tibet, even though in Tibet we have a culture to liberate animals, it's a really fully liberate because somebody, bring an animal for butcher or killing, and between, somebody buy the yak or sheep and goats, we fully release them in mountain. nobody, supposed to kill the liberate animals. So we put, certain sign on the body. Everybody notice, oh, this animal is liberated animal. We should not, really touch. We should not harm. We should not kill somebody fully liberate. This kind of liberation, as you can see, is very, very meaningful. The animal completely free from the death, killing. Nowadays in Tibet, then the concept become more spread. Now many, I'm not criticizing Chinese people, okay, make sure, because somebody will watch this YouTube. Many Chinese people, bring a lot of fish, few tons of fish in Tibet. Let them liberate. Then now it's like become business. I will catch up more. You give me more money, then you liberate. When the fish bring from, like China, low altitude, liberate in Tibet, they cannot survive. We can see some millions of fish is dying on the river. The one is water is cold, high altitude, they cannot survive. Still, the Chinese people, every day they bring few trucks with fish and crab, and different kinds of creatures. And Tibetan become very compassionate. They buy, liberate in the rivers, small like a lake. They cannot survive. They're really dying there. So then we cannot see the really point. One, the fish has a lot of suffering, in the bringing the trout to Tibet. And, after a few days, they are dying on the pure water. And also, yes, in Singapore, I thought few times, if there's a particular, part of the lake, like say, around the Marina Bay, the Kalang Web, there's a kind of, big kind of water. If we have a particular area for fish liberation, then we can liberate. Since we liberate, they can live there until their natural death. If we have a particular area for fish liberation, animal liberation is good. Otherwise, we bought, few thousand fish from the, what you call the fish pond. What do you call this one? Animal fish, they grow fish, right? What do you call this one? Fish?
Geshe-la, normally Singapore we get from Kelong, they raise fish, the Kelong.
Yeah, no. The area where they keep the fish, what do you name in English?
Aquarium? No.
Fish farm, Geshe-la.
Oh, fish farm. Fish farm, animal farms. Look at, they catch from, of the sea, and they give a food and rest for few months. Also, when you look at in the area is so small. There's so many fish. All the fish are looked in present. When you free them from there, it's very good. After you fully release them, they cannot survive. They don't have the ability to search food. They are dying. For me, I really cannot see the point to do this kind of liberation.
You see, Geshe-la, we in Singapore particularly, if you follow the environmental concerns around the world, many fish, big or small, sea creatures are dying because of pollution, because of ships and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Fishing and so on, the nets and so on. In Singapore, it's a very busy port. This is one of the busiest ports. The water around us for very little square kilometers is very, very busy.
Yeah, you are right.
I think this was my main awareness with the practice, which made me rather, questioning about how cruel it is. It's the same as if you raise a dog in a house and then you put him out in a mountain or outside. It cannot survive.
Yeah, you are right. This
Quite
one,
cruel. It's quite cruel.
yeah, this one I think about many times. So at the moment, I cannot say it's a good or bad. It's look like, not that, pure practice.
No, I mean, it's a question of adapting to the times, as you say.
Yeah, yeah.
And we are living in a very different time. So that is the difference, yes.
Yeah, you are right. Somehow we need to change our mentality. We have to change the way of doing the fish liberation. I can see
Yeah.
not much point to do this.
Somebody correctly points out that freshwater fish cannot survive in the sea. That is
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
So, the point is that for all those who are doing it, I'm not criticizing it because the motivation is pure.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have the good intention. It's a passionate
you're-
practice. But
you're-
knowledge makes us more mindful that sometimes when you are trying to help somebody or a creature, you may not be helping
It's
in the
instead of
sense that
harmful.
it could be causing more harm, right? So this is
That's right.
something that, for me, is the question, and it's good if we have a better understanding and a position, especially with environmental concerns and so on.
Yeah, you are very right. Also in Tibet, many monks say they really aspire people to do liberation, fish liberation, animal liberation. And other monks also they really against doing the fish liberation.
Yes.
Sometimes there's a lot of kind of agreement and disagreement between two different groups of monks. And also because the monk who said it's not good idea to do the fish liberation, they have a lot of reasonings.
Correct.
They can say, look at, you bought a lot of fish, liberate into the pure water, is whole water is polluted.
Yes, that's true. And also because we often look at it from our self-cherishing attitude to improve our own compassion. But what
Yeah.
about the creature's well-being?
Yeah, this is very right.
So this is something that I think is not easy to answer. We will not have the answer today,
Yeah.
but hopefully at some point we will move towards a better understanding and a
I think
position.
the best answer we can have from the Singapore government. The Singapore government says you must stop, then we will stop. Otherwise, not easy. Okay, so thank you so much for all of you to joining the Q&A sessions.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
I really-
Geshe-la, can we request for Geshe-la to give a few words or a brief on the upcoming His Holiness Dalai Lama giving the 3 days teaching on Lama Tsongkhapa's in praise of dependent origination on August 4th, 5th, and 6th, so that we have a bit of a better understanding for those who are interested to be attending?
I think the soft copy is available for everybody. So if you have this book, the page number 99. Or we have other small book also is include the praise of dependent origination by Lama Tsongkhapa. So Lama Tsongkhapa was, I think, really want to realize emptiness. I said many times that he has a lot of difficulties to understand emptiness. Finally, he did long retreat for purifying negative karma, accumulating merit. At the same time, he was reading a lot of books about emptiness by Nagarjuna, by Chandrakirti, by Buddha Palita. So look at, he was doing prostration, making mandal offering, reading a lot of books. When he was offering mandala, he didn't have the mandala made of wood, gold, silver. He found a big, rock, very stable rock. He used the rock as a mandala. They always offer mandala. Then after a few months, I think all his arm is tear. And every day, I think he did 1,000, long prostration. not just prostration, making offering. He read a lot of books about emptiness by Nagarjuna, Dharma Chandrakirti, and Buddha Palita. Finally, he realized emptiness. And that moment, he composed the bridge to dependent originations. Look at bridge to dependent origination. Knowing the actual meaning of dependent arising, then he realized emptiness. Based on knowing the dependent arising, then he realizes emptiness. Therefore, praise to whom? Buddha Shakyamuni. How he praised? Not he saying, oh, you are Buddha, you have all this quality. No, he said, oh, you are the great person who taught us dependent arising. Nobody can explain this kind of unique teaching, which is dependent arising. This is how Lama Tsongkhapa composed the piece of dependent arising. And this text has let's say, 3 parts. First, just praise to Lama Tsongkhapa. Then mention the view from the Chitta Mantras, view from the non-Buddhists, the posit their view. Then the rejection, their view. Then posit his own view based on Nagarjuna. So I think all of you, I think we have one more day. If you read the text, it's good. You just read how much you can understand. You guess, oh, this is mean, this is mean, this is mean, and then you just wait until His Holiness explain. I think His Holiness will read, a few sentences from the Lama Tsongkhapa dependent origination, praise to dependent origination. Mainly he will go into Nagarjuna teachings, Chandrakirti teaching. Also, I think he will go particularly to the wisdom chapter by Shantideva, wisdom chapter by Lama Tsongkhapa. Because the dependent, as I say, is very short, it's kind of root. Then he go in different, I think, teachings, different texts. So there's nothing I really do I can tell you about the teachings. So let's see, how he will teach us. The most importantly, when you listen the teaching, you listen. When you don't understand, you keep a note, please. Keep a note, written down that you don't understand. Then, so after that, I try to have a revision. I try to review. But how His Holiness, delivery, the teaching is so profound, so precise. He delivered based on experience. So when I drew the conclusion, I cannot conclude. But I do very little conclusion. He said this and this and that. So most important, you must focus when you listen to the teachings. And also, if you don't understand, if you doubt, you keep a note. Then when I do the revision, then I try to clarify. Otherwise, there's nothing I can say at this moment. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for attending the Q&A sessions. Really, I appreciate all of you have a great motivation to learn Dharma, not just learning. You are very sincere about practicing Dharma. So make sure the more you study Dharma, your understanding of Dharma become more profound. The understanding become more profound. Make sure the negative thoughts become, like reducing. The positive thoughts must increase. If you have this kind of experience, yes, I have a better understanding. I have a less negative thoughts. I have a more positive thoughts. I'm more easy to let it go. I'm more easy to, detach with my family, detach with things. Then your Dharma going into right direction. If it is opposite, the more you learn Dharma, more confusion, more negative thoughts, then your direction of study and Dharma not going into the right directions. Therefore, study gently and practice as much as you can. The knowledge you apply every day. I told you we need the Dharma every day. Try to change yourself. Try to be a happier person. Try to have a more open mind. Whatever comes in our life, any kind of difficulties come into our life, understand the fact, accept the fact, should not be too upset, should not be too angry, should not be too disappointment, should not be become very, unhappy. Particularly, please don't try to have the depression, anxiety. The Dharma is about overcome all the negativities, negative thoughts, particularly depression and anxiety. In the one hand, you practice Dharma. On the other hand, you have a lot of anxiety and depression. That means you have a wonderful medicine, still you have a serious illness. Then you can see it doesn't really match. Therefore, you must study, not only study, it is practice as much as you can. Then, and at the end, thank you so much to attend the class and have a happy Sunday. And thank you.